Welcome to Flavor Street. Thanks for joining this delicious journey. Let's explore new flavors and create tasty memories together. Gravlax, cured salmon, a traditional Scandinavian dish of salmon cured with salt, sugar, and dill. To prepare gravlax, cured salmon, you need the following ingredients. Ingredients: fresh salmon, skin-on fillet, ideally wild-caught, around 1 kg/2 to 2.5 pounds. Sea salt, about 1/4 cup. Sugar, about 1/4 cup. Fresh dill, a handful of fresh dill, chopped, plus a few sprigs for garnish. Black peppercorns, freshly ground, about 1 tablespoon. Coriander seeds, optional, about 1 tablespoon. Aquavit or vodka, optional, a few tablespoons, to add flavor. Lemon zest, optional, a small amount for extra citrus flavor. For serving, optional. Mustard sauce, a mix of Dijon mustard, sugar, vinegar, and oil. Bread, like rye bread or crisp bread. Lemon wedges for garnish. Directions: prepare the salmon, make sure the salmon fillet is boneless and skin-on. You can ask your fishmonger to remove the bones, or you can do it yourself using tweezers. Prepare the cure mix. In a bowl, combine the sea salt, sugar, freshly ground black pepper, coriander seeds, if using, and chopped dill. Coat the salmon, spread a layer of the salt and sugar mixture over the flesh side of the salmon. Sprinkle a little aquavit or vodka if you want to enhance the flavor. Press the mixture into the salmon to ensure it's well coated. Wrap the salmon, lay a large sheet of plastic wrap or parchment paper on a flat surface. Place the salmon fillet on it, flesh side up, and press the remaining cure mix onto the salmon. Add any remaining dill on top. Cover and refrigerate, wrap the salmon tightly and place it on a tray. Put another tray or a weight on top to press the fish gently. Refrigerate for 1 to 2 days, 48 hours, depending on how firm and flavorful you want your gravlax. Turn the salmon every 12 hours to ensure even curing. Serve. After curing, slice the salmon thinly against the grain. Serve it with mustard sauce, bread, and fresh dill. Pølse med lompe, hot dog with flatbread, a popular quick snack, featuring Norwegian sausages wrapped in soft flatbread. Pølse med lompe is a beloved Norwegian street food consisting of a hot dog, pølse, served in a soft flatbread, lompe. It's simple but incredibly satisfying, often enjoyed with various condiments. Ingredients: Norwegian sausages, pølse. Traditional sausages such as metesterpølse, pork sausage, or wienerpølse, similar to a German-style hot dog, are commonly used. Lompe, flatbread. Soft, thin flatbreads typically made with flour, water, salt, and a bit of yeast. They should be flexible enough to wrap around the sausage. Condiments, optional. Mustard, senap. Ketchup. Fried onions. Sweet or sour pickles. Relish. Mayonnaise. Brown cheese, brunost, for a more Norwegian twist. Directions: cook the sausages. Boil or grill the sausages until heated through. Boiling is the most common method in Norway, but grilling adds a nice smoky flavor. Warm the lompe. Warm the lompe flatbread slightly in a dry pan or microwave so they're soft and pliable. Assemble the pølse med lompe. Place a sausage on the center of the lompe. Add your choice of condiments and toppings. Traditional toppings include mustard, ketchup, and fried onions, but you can customize it to your liking. Wrap and serve. Fold the lompe around the sausage, making sure it's snug and secure. Serve immediately while the sausage is warm. Kjøttkaker, meatballs, Norwegian meatballs, typically served with potatoes, gravy, and peas. Norwegian meatballs, kjøttkaker, are a traditional and hearty dish, often served with potatoes, peas, and rich brown gravy. These meatballs are slightly different from the Swedish variant, usually being larger and often containing a blend of beef and pork. Ingredients for Norwegian meatballs, kjøttkaker. Ground meat. 500 g, about 1 pound, of ground beef. You can also use a mix of beef and pork for a richer flavor. Breadcrumbs. Half a cup, about 50 g. Milk. Half a cup, 120 milliliters, to soak the breadcrumbs and add moisture. Onion. 1 small onion, finely chopped, optional, but adds flavor. Egg. 1 large egg, helps bind the mixture together. Salt. 1 teaspoon. Black pepper. 1/2 teaspoon. Ground nutmeg. 1/4 teaspoon, optional, but it adds a warm spice. Butter or oil. For frying the meatballs. For the gravy. Butter. 2 tablespoons. Flour. 2 tablespoons, for thickening. Beef broth. 2 cups, 480 milliliters, or you can use stock cubes dissolved in water. Salt and pepper. To taste. Heavy cream, optional. 1/4 cup, for a creamier gravy, optional. Directions. Prepare the meatball mixture. In a small bowl, soak the breadcrumbs in milk for a few minutes until softened. In a large mixing bowl, combine the ground meat, soaked breadcrumbs, egg, finely chopped onion, if using, salt, pepper, and nutmeg. Mix everything together until well combined. You can use your hands or a spoon to make sure the mixture is uniform. Shape the meatballs. Wet your hands with a little water to prevent the mixture from sticking. Shape the mixture into medium-sized meatballs, about the size of a golf ball. Cook the meatballs. Heat a large frying pan over medium heat and add a bit of butter or oil. Fry the meatballs in batches, turning them occasionally, until they are browned on all sides and cooked through, about 10 to 15 minutes. You may need to reduce the heat to medium-low to ensure they cook all the way through without burning. Make the gravy. In a separate saucepan, melt the butter over medium heat. Once melted, whisk in the flour to make a roux. Stir constantly for 2 to 3 minutes to cook out the raw flour taste. Gradually add the beef broth, whisking continuously to prevent lumps. Keep cooking and stirring until the gravy thickens. Season the gravy with salt and pepper to taste. If you'd like a creamier gravy, stir in some heavy cream. Serve. Once the meatballs are cooked and the gravy is ready, pour the gravy over the meatballs. Serve the meatballs with boiled potatoes, mashed potatoes, or a side of peas and lingonberry jam for a traditional Norwegian meal. Crab, king crab, a delicacy from the Arctic waters, often served boiled or in salads. Crab, king crab, is a delicacy found in Norway, especially in the northern regions, including Finnmark. It's known for its sweet, tender meat and is often served in a variety of ways. The crab is typically boiled or steamed and can be enjoyed as a luxurious appetizer or main course. Here's how to prepare crab, king crab, simply and deliciously. Ingredients. King crab legs, fresh or frozen. You'll typically get them pre-cooked if they're frozen, so you just need to reheat them. If fresh, you'll need to cook them first. Water, for boiling. Enough to fully submerge the crab legs. Sea salt. About 2 to 3 tablespoons, for seasoning the boiling water. Lemon. For garnish and to serve with the crab. Butter. For dipping, melted, optional, but recommended for extra flavor. Garlic. A couple of cloves, finely minced, for the butter dip, optional. Fresh dill. Optional, for garnish. Directions. Prepare the crab. If using frozen crab legs, thaw them in the refrigerator overnight or under cold running water. If using fresh crab legs, ensure they're cleaned and ready for cooking. Boil the crab legs. Fill a large pot with water and add a generous amount of sea salt. Bring the water to a boil. Once boiling, add the crab legs. If they're pre-cooked, you only need to heat them through, which should take about 5 to 6 minutes. If the crab legs are raw, you'll need to boil them for around 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the size of the legs. Prepare garlic butter, optional. In a small saucepan, melt some butter over medium heat. Add minced garlic and cook for a minute or so until fragrant, optional. Remove from heat and keep warm. Serve. Once the crab legs are done, remove them from the pot and place them on a platter. Serve with lemon wedges and melted garlic butter on the side for dipping. Garnish with fresh dill if desired. Smørbrød, open sandwich, a traditional open-faced sandwich topped with various ingredients like cheese, fish, and meats. Smørbrød is a traditional Scandinavian open-faced sandwich, popular in Norway and other Nordic countries. The concept of smørbrød revolves around a slice of bread, often rye or sourdough, topped with various cold cuts, cheeses, fish, and garnishes. It's a versatile dish that can be made with many combinations of ingredients depending on your tastes. Here's how to make a basic smørbrød and some popular topping ideas. Basic ingredients for smørbrød. Bread. Typically, rye bread, sourdough, or a dark, hearty bread is used. Light, soft white bread can also work, but the classic choice is dense and flavorful. Butter. Spread a thin layer of butter on the bread to keep the toppings in place and add richness. It's an essential component of the base. Popular smørbrød toppings. Cured meats. Liver pâté, leverpastei, a smooth liver spread, often topped with pickled cucumber or crispy onions. Cold cuts, such as ham, salami, or roast beef, can be layered with mustard or horseradish. Fish. Gravlax, cured salmon, often paired with dill and mustard sauce. Herring, pickled herring or marinated herring, often served with onions, dill, or a creamy sauce. Smoked salmon, a classic, topped with fresh herbs, capers, or lemon. Cheese. Norwegian brown cheese, brunost, a sweet, caramel-flavored cheese that is uniquely Norwegian. Cheddar or Gouda, more common in modern smørbrød, adding a creamy texture. Vegetables. Boiled eggs, hard-boiled eggs sliced thinly or placed whole. Tomato, fresh tomato slices for a juicy, crisp bite. Cucumbers, thinly sliced cucumbers for a refreshing crunch. Lettuce, crisp leaves for a fresh, green addition. Sauces and condiments. Mayonnaise or aioli adds creaminess and flavor to the toppings. Mustard, a tangy contrast, perfect for cured meats or fish. Lingonberry jam, a sweet and tart addition, especially great with meats or cheese. Dill sauce, a traditional sauce to complement salmon or herring. Directions for assembling smørbrød. Prepare the bread. Slice your bread into thick pieces. If desired, lightly toast it to add some crunch, although smørbrød is traditionally made with untoasted bread. Spread the butter. Spread a thin layer of butter over the entire surface of the bread. This helps keep the toppings in place and enhances the flavor. Add toppings. Start with your main topping. For example, if you're using grilled chicken, layer it on top of the buttered bread. Then, add any additional garnishes such as pickles, herbs, or slices of cheese. If you're using fish like gravlax, add the fish slices and then top with dill, mustard sauce, and a squeeze of lemon. Finish with garnishes. Garnish your smørbrød with fresh herbs, such as dill or parsley, a squeeze of lemon, or some pickled onions or cucumber for extra flavor. Serve. Smørbrød is typically served as an open-faced sandwich on a plate, often accompanied by pickled vegetables or a simple salad. Vaffel, waffle, Norwegian waffles are thin, often served with jam, whipped cream, or berries. Vaffel, Norwegian waffles, are a beloved traditional treat in Norway. They are light, crispy on the outside, and soft on the inside. Norwegian waffles are typically heart-shaped, often served with a variety of toppings, and enjoyed during cozy moments with family and friends. Here's a simple recipe to make Norwegian waffle at home. Ingredients for Norwegian waffle. 2½ cups, 300 g, all-purpose flour. 2 teaspoons baking powder. 1/2 teaspoon salt. 2 tablespoons sugar. 2 large eggs. 2 cups 480 milliliters milk. Half a cup 115 g melted butter or margarine. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, optional. 1/2 teaspoon ground cardamom, optional, but adds traditional flavor. Directions. Prepare the batter. In a large mixing bowl, whisk together the flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. In a separate bowl, beat the eggs, then add the milk, melted butter, and vanilla extract. Mix well. Gradually pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients while stirring to combine. Add the ground cardamom if you're using it. Mix until you have a smooth batter. Preheat the waffle iron. Preheat your waffle iron according to the manufacturer's instructions. Lightly grease the waffle iron with butter or non-stick spray to prevent the waffles from sticking. Cook the waffles. Once the waffle iron is hot, pour a small amount of batter, about 1/4 to 1/3 cup, onto the center of the waffle iron, depending on the size of your waffle iron. Close the waffle iron and cook for about 3 to 5 minutes or until golden brown and crispy on the outside. Repeat with the remaining batter. Serve. Norwegian waffles are traditionally served with a variety of toppings. Some popular choices include sour cream and jam, usually strawberry, raspberry, or lingonberry jam. Brown cheese, brunost, a sweet Norwegian cheese, can be spread on top. Whipped cream for an extra indulgence. You can also sprinkle powdered sugar over the waffles for a simple touch. Skolebrød, school bread, a sweet pastry filled with custard and topped with coconut flakes. Skolebrød is a beloved traditional Norwegian pastry, often translated as school bread in English. It is a soft, sweet bun filled with custard, topped with coconut flakes, and typically enjoyed as a snack or dessert. Skolebrød is especially popular in Norway, and is often found in bakeries or served as a treat for children during school breaks. Ingredients for skolebrød. For the dough: 2 cups 500 milliliters milk. Half a cup 100 g sugar. 1/4 cup 50 g butter. 1 packet 7 g dry yeast or 25 g fresh yeast. 5½ cups 650 g all-purpose flour. 1/2 teaspoon salt. 1 egg for brushing. For the custard filling: 1 cup 240 milliliters milk. 2 tablespoons sugar. 1 tablespoon cornstarch. 2 egg yolks. 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. For topping: 1/2 cup shredded coconut. Icing sugar, optional. Directions. Prepare the custard. In a saucepan, combine the milk, sugar, and cornstarch. Heat over medium heat until it begins to warm up. In a separate bowl, whisk together the egg yolks and vanilla extract. Slowly pour a bit of the warm milk mixture into the egg yolks, whisking constantly to temper the eggs. Gradually whisk the egg yolk mixture back into the saucepan with the milk. Cook over medium heat, whisking constantly, until the custard thickens, about 2 to 3 minutes. Once thickened, remove from heat and set aside to cool. Make the dough. In a large bowl, warm the milk with sugar and butter, stirring until the butter melts. Sprinkle the yeast into the warm milk mixture and stir to dissolve. Let it sit for 5 minutes until it becomes bubbly. Add the flour and salt to the mixture and knead the dough until it becomes smooth and elastic. You can use a stand mixer or knead by hand. Cover the dough with a cloth and let it rise in a warm place for about 1 hour, or until it has doubled in size. Shape the buns. Once the dough has risen, punch it down and divide it into 12 equal pieces. Roll each piece into a ball. Flatten each ball slightly, then use your fingers to make a small indentation in the center of each one. Fill each indentation with a spoonful of the cooled custard. Let the dough rise again. Place the buns on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and cover them with a clean cloth. Let them rise for another 30 to 45 minutes, or until they have puffed up. Bake the buns. Preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit 190 degrees Celsius. Brush each bun with a beaten egg to give them a shiny golden finish as they bake. Bake the buns for 12 to 15 minutes, or until they are golden brown. Top with coconut. While the buns are still warm, brush the tops with a bit of butter and then roll them in shredded coconut. If you like, you can drizzle a bit of icing sugar over the top for extra sweetness. Serve. Allow the buns to cool slightly before serving. Skolebrød is best enjoyed warm, but can be stored in an airtight container for a few days. Fiskeburger, fish burger, a fresh fish patty served in a bun, often with lettuce, tomato, and tartar sauce. Fiskeburger, fish burger, is a popular and healthy dish in Norway, often made from ground fish, such as cod, haddock, or salmon. It's a great alternative to traditional meat burgers and can be served with various toppings and sauces, making it versatile and delicious. Fiskeburger is typically pan-fried until crispy on the outside while remaining tender inside. Here's a simple recipe to make your own Fiskeburger at home. Ingredients for Fiskeburger, serves 4. For the fish patties. 1 pound, 450 g, white fish fillets, such as cod, haddock, or a mix of fish like salmon and cod. Half a cup, 120 milliliters, heavy cream or milk. Half a cup, 50 g, breadcrumbs, you can use panko for a crispier texture. 1 small onion, finely chopped. 1 to 2 cloves garlic, minced. 1 egg. 1 tablespoon fresh dill, chopped, optional. 1 teaspoon lemon zest, optional. Salt and pepper, to taste. For the burger. For burger buns, preferably soft, with sesame seeds or plain. Lettuce leaves, optional. Sliced tomatoes, optional. Pickled cucumbers, optional. Tartar sauce or mayonnaise, optional. Fresh herbs, optional, like dill or parsley. Directions. Prepare the fish patties. If using whole fish fillets, chop the fish into chunks and pulse them in a food processor until finely minced. If using pre-ground fish, simply place it in a mixing bowl. Add the heavy cream, or milk, breadcrumbs, onion, garlic, egg, and lemon zest, if using. Stir until everything is well combined. Season the mixture with salt and pepper to taste. If you like, add fresh dill or other herbs for extra flavor. Form the patties. Wet your hands with water to prevent the mixture from sticking, and shape the fish mixture into 4 round patties, about the size of a typical burger patty. If the mixture feels too wet or sticky, add a bit more breadcrumbs until it's easier to handle. Cook the Fiskeburger. Heat a bit of oil or butter in a large frying pan over medium heat. Add the fish patties to the pan and cook for about 4 to 5 minutes on each side, or until they are golden brown and crispy on the outside and cooked through on the inside. The patties should reach an internal temperature of at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit 63 degrees Celsius. Assemble the burger. While the patties are cooking, lightly toast the burger buns in a pan or oven, if desired. Spread some tartar sauce, mayonnaise, or your favorite sauce on the bottom bun. Place a warm fish patty on the bun and top with lettuce, tomato slices, and pickled cucumbers, if using. Add any additional herbs or toppings you prefer, such as fresh dill or parsley. Serve. Serve the Fiskeburger immediately while warm. Pair it with crispy fries, a fresh salad, or even a side of coleslaw for a full meal.